know how to time series.
Hello.
I need water now.
So again, hi. Hello again.
Can I borrow one of Mr. Tomlinson's pens? Will he mind?
I doubt it.
Just make sure to put it.
So I said I can use my phone to time it.
Only if you turn everything off. I can't even get back here.
Hey, Sheldon, your first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened for your last time.
You're always first. I'm always either second last or second. And Maya's second last now.
Alright.
Because it's like switching on.
Let's see if this works.
No.
Karnika's with
How Maya
Karnika's second now.
serious. I didn't check her correctly.
Can you grab one of these chairs? No, I got it, thank you.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
Miss Medina's going to judge us.
No, she's just watching.
I am watching today. I'm judging all tomorrow.
She's first.
Thank you for coming with me.
All the best.
Thank you. Positive reinforcement booster. Positive reinforcement. He's
Of
positive.
course, positive reinforcement.
He's positive reinforcement.
Yes.
Positive reinforcement.
We all are
Or you
positive
just don't have
reinforcement.
anything else to do.
He's no. No.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, I believe you.
Let's just say it.
I think I should be here like.
I got it. Like this. They should know. They should be up here.
So you're gonna count down.
And
There you are. You got one. Yeah, you want to.
Well, thank you, Nurse, if I'm here.
No. He's double positive reinforcement.
It's okay, I'm positive reinforcement. I didn't know.
I'm positive reinforcement.
And I'm negative reinforcement.
You're
You're double
positive.
positive. No.
Everything's all that side. Hello, everyone. Okay. Are we all here? Shagun?
Yes.
Okay, so you're first. Then we have Liam, then Alexandra, then Claire, and, okay, Kanika. Kanika, is that how you say it? Okay, Kanika, and then Claire. Okay. Can you see them?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
My name is Shagun Agarwal. Today I'll be performing the Telltale Heart. This is a short story written by Edgar Allan Poe. It's true. I've been ill. Very ill. But why do you say that I have lost control of my mind? That I'm mad? Can you not see that I have full control of my mind? Indeed, the illness only made my mind, my feelings, my senses stronger. My sense of hearing especially. I hear sounds I have never heard before. I hear sounds from heaven and sounds from hell. Listen, and I'll tell you how it happened. You'll see and hear how healthy my mind is. And it was impossible to say how the idea first entered my head. There was no reason for what I did. I did not hate the old man. I even loved him. I think it was his eye. His eye was like the eye of a vulture, the eye of one of those terrible birds that watch and wait while an animal dies and then falls upon the dead body and pulls it to pieces to eat it. When the old man looked at me with his vulture eye, a cold feeling went up and down my back. My blood became cold. So I finally decided I had to kill the old man and close that eye forever. So you think that I'm mad? A madman cannot plan. Every night about 12 o'clock, I slowly opened his door. And when the door was opened wide enough, I put my hand in, and then my head. In my hand, I held a light covered over with a cloth. And I stood there quietly. Then I lifted the cloth. So a small light fell across that eye. For 7 nights I did this. Every night at midnight. Obviously, I was closed, so it was impossible for me to do the work. So it was not the old man I felt I had to kill, it was his evil eye. Every morning, I went to his room, and with a warm, friendly voice, I asked him how he had slept. He could not guess that every night I looked in at him as he slept. Till 8th night, I was more than usually careful. Never before had I felt so strongly in my power. Now I was sure of success. The old man was lying down. Suddenly he moved his bed, though I wasn't afraid. The darkness in his room was thick and black. I continued to push the door, softly. Suddenly the old man sat up and cried, "Who's there?" I stood still for a whole hour. Neither did he lie down again. He just sat there, listening. Then I heard a low cry of fear from the old man. Now I knew that he was filled with fear. I knew that he knew that I was there. He did not see me, nor hear me. He just felt me there. Now he knew that death was standing there. Slowly, little by little, I lifted the cloth until a small light fell across the vulture eye. It was wide open, and my anger increased as it looked straight at me. I could not see the old man's face, only that eye, that hard blue eye. And the blood in my body became like ice. Had I not told you that my hearing had become unusually strong? Now I could hear a quick, low, soft sound, like the sound of a clock going through a wall. A sound that there was the beating of the old man's heart. I tried to stand quietly, but the sound grew louder. The old man's fear must have been great indeed, and as the sound grew louder, my anger became greater and more painful. But it was more than anger. In the quiet night, in the dark silence of the bedroom, my anger became fear. For the heart was beating so loudly that I was sure someone must hear. The time had come. I rushed into the room crying, Die! Die! The old man gave a loud cry of fear as I fell upon him and held the bed covers tightly over his head. Still, his heart was beating. Then I smiled as I felt that success was near. For many minutes that heart continued to beat, but at last, the beating stopped. I took away the bed covers and held my ear over his heart. There was no sound. Yes, he was dead, dead as a stone. His eye would trouble me no more. So I'm mad, you say. You should have seen how careful I was to put the body where no one could find it. At first, I carved the head, then the arms, and the legs. I was careful not to let a single drop of blood fall on the floor. I pulled up three of the boards that formed the floor and put the pieces of the body there. Then I put the boards down again, so carefully that no human eye could see that they had been moved. As I finished the work, I heard that someone was at the door. It was now 4 o'clock in the morning, but still dark. I had no fear, however, as I went out to open the door. Three officers of the police were at the door. One of the neighbors had heard the old man's cry and had called the police. These three had come to ask questions and to search the house. I asked the policeman to come in. I said that the crime was wrong in a dream. The old man was aware. I took them through the whole house, telling them to search well. I led them finally into the old man's bedroom. As I played a game with them, I asked them to sit down and talk for a while. My easy, quiet manner made the policeman believe my story. So they sat, talking with me in a friendly way. Although I answered them in the same way, I wished that they would go. My head hurt and there was a strange sound in my ears. I talked more and faster. The sound became clearer. And still, they sat and talked. Suddenly, I knew that the sound was not in my ears. At that moment, I must have become quite white. I talked still, faster and louder, and the sound too became louder. It was a quick, low, soft sound, like the sound of a clock heard through a wall. A sound I knew well. Louder became and louder. Why did the men not go louder, louder? I stood up and walked quickly around the room. I pushed my chair across the floor to cover that terrible sound. I talked even louder, and still the men talked and smiled. Was it possible that they could not hear? No! They heard. I was certain of it. Now it's they who were playing a game with me. I was suffering more than I could bear from the smiles and the sound. Louder, louder, louder. Suddenly I could bear it no longer. I pointed at the boards, crying, Yes! Yes, I killed him! Pull up the boards and you shall see. I killed him. But why does his heart not stop beating? Why does it not stop?
6:36. Whenever you're ready.
My name is Liam Greer. Today I'll be performing excerpts from When Redfern Grows by Wilson Rhodes. I suppose there's a time in practically every young boy's life when he's affected by that wonderful disease of poppycock. I don't mean the kind the boy has from the pretty little girl that lives down the road. I mean the real kind. The kind that has 4 small feet and a wiggly tail. There I was, sitting right in the middle of the finest country in the world, and I didn't even have a coon dog. Just when I'd given up all of ever owned a coon hound, something wonderful happened. It all started one day while I was hoeing corn down in our field, close to the river. Across the river, a party of fishermen had been camped for several days. They usually left all sorts of things behind. On that day, my life was changed because of that sportsman's magazine. On the back of the magazine, I came to the for sale section. Dogs for sale, every kind of dog. Far down in the right-hand corner, I found an ad that took my breath away. In small letters, it read, "Registered red-bone coonhound pups, $25 each." $50? How could I ever get $50? I knew I couldn't expect help from Mama and Papa. So there I was on the banks of the Illinois River, in the cool shade of the tall white sycamores. I asked God to help me get 2 hound pups. It wasn't much of a prayer, but it did come straight from the heart. My grandfather said he would order the pups for me if I earned the money. Finally, the great day came. The long, hard grind was over. I had it, my $50. I cried as I counted over and over. Grandpa was dumbfounded. He looked at me and looked at the pile of coins. "Where'd you get all this?" "I told you, Grandpa. I was saving my money so I could buy 2 hound pups. And I did." "How long you been saving this?" 2 years. 2 years? Well, son, it's your money. You work for it, and honestly, we're going to get you those dogs. A few weeks later, I was traveled to the Tahlequah, Kentucky depot to get my dogs. The county station master brought me over to one of the boxes. "Do you want a box and all? How you going to carry them? I think they're a little too young to follow." "Well, there they are. What do you think of them?" I knelt down and gathered them in my arms. I buried my face between their wiggly bodies and cried. "Well, there you are. Goodbye and happy hunting." I noticed the boy dog's muscles were knotted and rippled under his velvety skin. I saw right that he was bold and aggressive. The girl pup was small and timid, but I didn't have to look twice to see what she lacked in power. She made up for in brains. I knew I had a wonderful combination. Months passed as Billy carefully trained Old Dan and Little Ann. He taught his dogs every trick he knew and any new ones he'd heard about. It did not matter if they were on land or water. It was as if they could read his mind. Before long, Billy qualified for a coon hunting championship and won. Although the winning of the cups and the money was a big event in my life, it didn't change my hunting any. I'd been hunting the river bottoms hard for about 3 weeks. One night, I decided to go back to Cyclone Timber Country. The dogs struck a trail on the other side of the ridge, and there I saw them, 2 burning yellow eyes staring at me from the shadowy foliage of the tree. I stopped, petrified with fear. The deep baying of Old Dan stopped, and the sound closed in. There was a low call and a deep growl from the mountain lion. I saw him crouch. I knew what was coming. With a blood-curdling scream, he sprang from the tree with claws outspread and long yellow fangs bared. Old Dan didn't wait. Rearing up on his hind legs, he met the lion in the air. The impact of the 2 bodies threw the lion off balance. Little Ann darted. Her aim was true. I heard the snap of her steel-trap jaws as they closed on the lion's throat. With a squall of pain and rage, the big cat rolled over on his side, dragging Little Ann with him. His right paw reached out and curved over her shoulder. Screaming like a mad one, tears running down my face, I hacked and chopped at the big snarling mountain lion with my double-bitted axe. I tried to jump back with my foot slipped, and I dropped to my knees. I knew I was trapped. With a terrifying scream, he sprang. After I got up, I screamed and charged back into the fight, swinging my axe, but I was careful not to hit with my dogs. The big cat grabbed Little Dan by the throat, and Little Ann, throwing caution to the leg, ran and sank her teeth into the lion's tough neck. In the rays of the bright Ozark moon, I could see clearly and brought my axe down with all the strength of my body. My aim was true. The heavy blade sank with a sickening sound as it sliced its way through the bone and gristle. A shudder ran through his body. He had once again to scream. Blood gurgled in his throat, and it was the end of the trail for the scourge of the mountains. It was silent and still. My dogs were still glued to his lifeless body. I got up and went over to inspect my dogs. I knew I had to see how badly they were hurt. It wasn't too hard to get Little Ann to loosen her hold. I examined her body. She was cut in several places, but nothing fatal. The only bad wound was in her shoulder. It was very different with Little Dan. He was a bloody mess. His long, velvety ears were shredded, and his entire body was a deep mass of raw, red wounds. On both sides of his rib carriage, the sharp claws that laid the flesh open to the bone. A razor-sharp claw ripped down on an angle across his right eye. Old Dan was lying on his side, pleading for help. What I saw was more than I could stand. There, tangled in the low branches of a huckleberry bush, were the entrails of my dog. With a gasping cry, I knelt down by his side. Hang on, boy! Everything will be all right. I'll take care of you. I wrapped him in my sheepskin blanket and hurried home. Our wait wasn't long. My dog's breathing grew faster and faster, and there was a terrible rattling in his throat. I knelt down and laid his head on my lap. Please don't die, Dan. I said, don't leave me now. Old Dad must have known he was dying. Just before he drew one last sigh and a feeble thump of his tail, his friendly gray eyes closed forever. Thank you.
6:23. Whenever you're ready.
In this emotional piece, cultures clash as the narrator, a Chinese-American teenager, grows frustrated at her younger classmate who refuses to talk. Why is the narrator so insistent? What does her bullying of the younger girl reveal about her own insecurities? The Girl Who Wouldn't Talk by Maxine Tompkins. You're going to talk, I said, my voice steady and normal, as it is when talking to the familiar, the weak, and the small. I am going to make you talk, you sissy girl. She stopped backing away and stood, fixed. I looked into her face like I hated up close. She wore black bangs and her cheeks were pink and white. She was baby soft. I thought that I could put my thumb on her nose and push it bonelessly in, indent her face. I could poke dimples in her cheeks. I could work her face around like dough. She stood still, and I did not want to look at her face anymore. I hated fragility. I reached up and took the fatty part of her cheek. Not dough, but meat between my thumb and finger. This close, and I could see no pores. Talk, he said. Are you going to talk? Her skin was fleshy, like squid out of which the glassy blades of bones had been pulled. I wanted tough skin, hard, brown skin. I had calloused my hands. I had scratched dirt to blacken the nails, which I cut straight across to make stubby fingers. I gave her face a squeeze. Talk! When I let go, the pink rushed back into my white thumbprint on her skin. I walked around to her side. Talk! I shouted into the side of her head. I squeezed her other cheek. Are you? Huh? Are you going to talk? She tried to shake her head, but I had hold of her face. She had no muscles to jerk away. Her skin seemed to stretch. I let go in horror. What if it came away in my hand? No, huh? I said, rubbing the touch of her off my fingers. Say no, then, I said. Say no! She shook her head. Her straight hair turned side to side. Like the pretty girls. She was so neat. Her knees bothered me. Say hi, I said. Hi, like that. Say your name. Go ahead. Say it. Or are you stupid? You're so stupid, you don't know your own name. Is that it? When I say, what's your name? You just blurt it out. Okay, what's your name? I looked right at her. I know you talk, I said. I've heard you. Her eyebrows flew up. Something in those black eyes was startled, and I pursued it. I was walking past your house when you didn't know I was there. I heard you yell in English and in Chinese. You weren't just talking. You were shouting. You were saying, where are you? Say that again. Go ahead. Just the way you did it at home. I yanked harder on the hair, but steadily, not jerky. I did not want to pull it out. Go ahead. Say, where are you? Say it loud enough for your sister to come. Call her. Make her come help you. Call her name. I'll stop if she comes, so call. Go ahead. She shook her head, her mouth curved down, crying. I could see her tiny white teeth, baby teeth. I wanted to grow big, strong, yellow teeth. You do have a tongue, I said, so use it. I pulled the hair at her temples, pulled the tears out of her eyes. Say ow, I said. Just ow. Say let go. Go ahead, say it. I'll honk you again if you don't say let me alone. Say leave me alone and I'll let you go. I will. I'll let you go if you say it. You can stop this anytime you want to, you know. All you have to do is tell me to stop. Just say stop. You're just asking for it, aren't you? You're just asking for another honk. Well, then I'll have to give you another honk. Say stop. But she didn't. I had to pull again and again. Sounds did come out of her mouth. Sobs, chokes, noises that were almost words. Snot ran down her nose. She tried to wipe it on her hands, but there was too much of it. She used her sleeve. You're disgusting, I told her. Look at you, snot streaming down your nose, and you won't say a word to stop it. You're such a nothing. I moved behind her and pulled the hair growing out of her weak neck. I let go. I stood silent for a long time. Then I screamed, "Talk!" I would scare the words out of her. If she had had little bound feet, those toes twisted under the balls, I would have jumped up and landed on them. Crunch! Stomped on them with my iron shoes. She cried hard, sobbing aloud. Cry mama, I said. Come on, cry mama. Say stop it. Far away, coming from the edge of town, I heard whistles blow. The cannery was changing shifts, letting out the afternoon people. And still we were here at school. It was a sad sound. Work done. The air was lonelier after the sound died. Why won't you talk? I started to cry. What if I couldn't stop? And everyone would want to know what happened. Now look what you've done, I scolded. You're going to pay for this. I want to know why. And you're going to tell me why. You don't see I'm trying to help you out, do you? Do you want to be like this? Dumb? Do you know what dumb means? Your whole life? Don't you want to be a cheerleader or a pom-pom girl? What are you going to do for a living? Yeah, you're going to have to work because you can't be a housewife. Somebody has to marry you before you can be a housewife. And you are a plant. Do you know that? That's all you are if you don't talk. If you don't talk, you can't have a personality. You'll have no personality and no hair. You've got to let people know you have a personality and a brain. You think somebody's going to take care of you all your stupid life? You think you'll always have your big sister? You think somebody's going to marry you? Is that it? Well, you're not the type that gets dates, let alone gets married. Nobody's going to notice you. And you have to talk for interviews, speak right up in front of the boss. Don't you know that? You're so dumb. Why do I waste my time on you? Sniffling and snorting, I couldn't stop crying and talking at the same time. I kept wiping my nose on my arm, my sweater lost somewhere. Probably not one because my mother sent to wear a sweater. It seemed as if I had spent my life in that basement, doing the worst thing I had yet done to another person. I'm doing this for your own good, I said. Don't you dare tell anyone I've been bad to you. Talk! Please talk.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm Kanika Mhare. I will be reading an excerpt from The Bridge to Terabithia by Kathleen Patterson. This is the story of a boy named Jess and a girl named Leslie. Ever since they became friends, Jess feels like he's in a whole new world, but they both can do anything. We need a place, she said, just for us. It would be so secret we wouldn't tell anyone in the whole world about it. Jess came swinging back and dragged his feet to a stop. She lowered her voice almost to a whisper. It might even be a whole secret country, she continued, and you and I would be the rulers of it. Her words stirred something inside of him. He would like to be the ruler of something, even something that wasn't real. Okay, he said, where could we have it? Over there in the woods, where no one would come and mess it up. There were parts of the woods that just did not like. Dark places, where it was almost like being underwater. But he didn't say so. I know, she was getting excited. It could be a magic country like Narnia, and the only way you could get in is by swinging across this enchanted brook. Her eyes were bright. She grabbed the rope. Come on, she said. Let's find a place to build our castle stronghold. They had only gone a few yards into the woods, beyond the creek bed, when Leslie stopped. How about right here? She asked. Sure, Jess agreed quickly, relieved that there was no need to plunge deeper into the woods. As a regular thing in his permanent place, this was where he would choose to be. Sure, he repeated himself nodding vigorously. The underbrush was dry and would be easy to clear away. The ground was almost level. This would be a good place to build. Leslie named their secret land Delvithia. And she wrote just all of her books about Narnia, so he would know how things went in the Magic Kingdom. He didn't know, but he could make Delvithia come alive, or at least build a castle stronghold. You should draw a picture of Terabithia for us to hang in the castle, Leslie said. I can't. How could you explain it in a way that Leslie would understand? How he yawned to reach out and capture the quivering life above him. How when he tried, it slipped past his fingertips, leaving a dry fossil on the page. I just can't get the poetry out of trees, he said. She nodded. Don't worry, she said. We will someday. He believed her because there in the shadowy light of the stronghold, everything seemed possible. The sun shined on that Christmas afternoon. In a few hours it would rest, and Santa would come, or so Mabel hoped. Jess laughed as those thoughts ran through his mind. Sweet little sister, she is. Mabel brought Leslie in his mind. He thought, what can I get her for this Christmas Eve? God answered that question very quickly. Jess told Leslie to meet him at the castle stronghold on the Christmas Eve afternoon. The dog was a little brown and black thing with great brown eyes. It was a clever, lively little thing, a pleasant Jess could be proud of. There was no mistaking the delight in Leslie's eyes. She dropped to the knees on the cold ground and picked the puppy up and held him close to her face. Watch it, Jess cautioned. It sprays worse than a water pistol. Leslie repeated rapidly. Is it male or female? Once in a little while there was something he would teach Leslie. Boy, he said happily. Then, when made him Prince Terry and made him the guardian of Terabithia. She put the puppy down and got to her feet. Where are you going? To the Grove of Pines, she answered. This is a time of greatest joy. Later that afternoon, Leslie gave Jess his present. It was a box of watercolors with 24 tubes of color and 3 brushes and a bag of heavy art paper. Lord, he said, thank you. He tried to think of a better way to say it, but he couldn't. Thank you, he repeated. A few months later, it had been the perfect day. The rain had brought his joy to him for once. Jess felt alive and brave. He was willing to pay the price for such a good day, even if his mother yelled at him. He sighed a content sigh and felt his heart rate going up again. Leslie was going to be so surprised. He just couldn't wait to tell her all about it. He was about to run to Terabithia, and he decided to go home and tell his mother that he was safe. Better face the music faster. He was all the way into the kitchen before he realized something was wrong. His dad's pickup had been outside the door, but he hadn't taken it in. When he came into the room, he found all of his family still there. His parents and neighbor on the kitchen table, and Brenda, his elder sibling, on the couch. He stood unmoving for a second while they stared at him. Suddenly, his mother let out a great shuddering sob. Oh my God! Oh my God! She said it over and over, her head down on her arms. His father moved to put his arm around her awkwardly and didn't take his eyes off Jess. So you should just gone off somewhere. Mabel said quietly and steadily, as though she repeated it often and no one. I didn't even know what question to ask them. What if he tried to begin? And Brenda's spouting voice broke. The girlfriend's dead, and Mama thought you were dead too. No! Something whirred around in Jess's head. He opened his mouth, but it was dry and no words came out. He jerked his head from one face to the next, somewhat to help him. Finally, his father spoke. His big rough hand stroking his wife's hand, and his eyes downcast, watching the ocean. They found the whirlpool smoldering down the creek. No, Jess said, finding his voice. Leslie won't drown. She can swim real good. That old rope who just been swinging on the rope. His father went quietly and let him see her. I think she must have hit her head on something before she fell. No! He shook his head. No! His father looked up at him. I'm real sorry, boy. No! Jess was yelling now. I don't believe you're lying to me! He looked again around wildly for someone to agree, but they all had their heads down, except Mabel, whose eyes were wide with terror. No! He said straight at Mabel. It's a lie! Leslie ain't dead! He turned around and ran out the door, letting the scream bang sharply against the house. He ran down the graveyard to the main road and then started running west. An approaching car beeped and swerved and beeped again, but he hardly noticed. Leslie, dead, broke, fell. The words exploded in his head like gone against the side of a cobble. Leslie, dead. God, Leslie, dead. Ran until he was stumbling, but he kept on, afraid to stop, knowing somehow that running was the only thing that could keep Leslie from being dead. It was up to him. He had to keep going. Thank you.
17. You're in.
In this dramatic scene, we encounter a family excited to be taking a road trip. Their excitement is soon shattered, however, when we come face to face with an escaped killer called Misfit. How the grandmother's pleas at mercy influence their fate? A good man is hard to find, by Flannery O'Connor. We've had an accident! The children screamed. The grandmother had a peculiar feeling that the bespectacled man was someone she knew. His face was familiar to her. She'd known him all her life. She could not recall who he was.
Good afternoon.
He said.
I see you all had you a little spade.
We turned over twice, said the grandmother.
Once
He corrected.
we've seen it happen.
Drive their car,
See who run harm.
said quietly to the boy with the gray hat. What you got that gun for? John Wesley asked. What you gonna do with that gun?
Lady,
The man said to the children's mother.
do you mind calling the children's down by you? Children make me nervous.
Why don't you all sit down right there where you're at? What are you telling us to do for? John Wesley asked. Behind them, the line of the woods gaped like a dark, open mouth.
Look here now.
Bailey began suddenly. We're in a predicament! We're in... The grandmother shrieked. She scrambled to her feet and stood staring. You're the misfit! She said. I recognized you at once!
Yes.
The man said, smiling slightly, as if he were pleased in spite of himself to be known.
But it would have been better for all you lady. Yeah, I'd recognize you.
Bailey turned his head sharply and said something to his mother that shocked even the children. The old lady began to cry, and the misfit reddened. Listen, he began. We're in a terrible predicament. Nobody realizes what this is. And his voice cracked. His eyes were as blue and intense as the parrots on a shirt made of snow. The grandmother reached up to adjust her hat brim as if she were going into the woods with him. It came off her hand. She stood staring at it a second, and after a second, let it fall to the ground. Hiram pulled Bailey up by the arm as if resisting an old man, and John Wesley got hold of his father's hand. They went off towards the dark woods, and just as they reached the dark edge, Bailey turned, and supporting himself against a gray, naked pine trunk, he shouted, I'll be back in a minute, Mama. Wait on me. Haley boy! The grandmother called in a tragic voice. She found she was looking at the misfit, squatting on the ground in front of her. I just know you're a good man, she said desperately.
No, I ain't a good man. Misfit started. But I ain't the worst in the world either.
You wouldn't shoot a lady, would you? Grandmother said, and removed a clean handkerchief from her cuff, began to slap her eyes with it.
I would hate to have to.
He said. Listen! The grandmother almost screamed. I know you're a good man. Don't look a bit like you have common blood. I know you must come from nice people.
Yes, ma'am, he said. Honest people know.
Listen, she said. You should call yourself the Misfit. Because I know you're a good man at heart. I can just look at you and tell.
I appreciate that, lady.
Misfit said. Drew a little circle on the ground with the butt of his gun.
Well, Hiram, get him that little gold still down.
Misfit said. And Bailey and John Wesley.
I was gonna ask you something.
He said to Bailey.
You mind stepping back in their woods there with him?
Do you ever pray? The grandmother asked.
No.
He said. There was a pistol shot from the woods, followed closely by another. Then silence. The old lady's head jerked around. Bailey boy! She called. Pray. Pray. She began. Pray. Pray.
I never was a bad boy that I remember of.
Music said, almost a dreamy voice.
Somewhere along the line, done something wrong. Got sent to penitentiary. I was buried alive.
He held her attention in a steady stare. If you would pray, Jesus will help you.
That's right.
Well, then why don't you pray? She asked, trembling with delight.
I don't want no help. I'm right by myself.
Hiram came ambling back from the woods, dragging a yellow shirt with bright blue parrots on it.
Throw me that shirt.
Misfit said. Sure, came flying at him and he put it on. Grandmother couldn't name what it reminded her of.
No, lady. Found out crown don't matter. You can do one thing, you can do another. Kill a man, take a tire off his car. Sooner or later, you're going to forget what it was done. Just get punished for it.
The children's mother had begun to make heaving noises as if she couldn't catch a breath.
Lady, you and that little girl like step off yonder with Hiram, join your husband.
The left arm dangled helplessly. She was holding the baby, who had gone to sleep in the other.
Get that lady at Hiram. Hold on to that little girl's hand.
There's a piercing scream from the woods, followed closely by a pistol report.
Does it seem right to you, lady? The one's punished at hate, another ain't punished at all.
You've got good blood! I know you wouldn't shoot a lady! I know you come from nice people! Renee, you're not shoot a lady! I'll give you all the money I've got!
Lady, never was a body. You're the undertaker.
There are two more pistol reports, and the grandmother raised her head and called, Baby boy! Baby boy! Her heart break.
Jesus was the only one that ever raised the dead. Shouldn't have done it. Did what he said. Nothing for you to do. Throw away everything you got and fall. And if you didn't, there's nothing for you to do. Enjoy the few minutes you got left the best way you can. By killing somebody. Or burning his house down. Doing some other means to him. Pleasure but meanness.
His voice seemed to crack, and the grandmother's head cleared for an instant. She saw the man's face, twisted and close to her own, as if you were going to cry. And she murmured, Why, you are my babies! You are my own children! She reached out and touched him on the shoulder. He sprang back as if a snake had in him and shot her 3 times through the chest. Then, he put his gun down and took off his glasses and began to clean them. Hiram returned from the woods and stood over the ditch, looking down at the grandmother, who half sat and half lay in a puddle of blood, their legs crossed under her like a child's, and her face smiling up the cloudless sky.
She would have been a good woman,
He said,
there had been somebody there to shoot every minute of her life.
Thank you, everyone. This was
Extra positive.
623.
Like, you might think it's weird, but then it's like, but then if you mess up, it's like,
Next door, Matt said, oh, please tie up your hair, Shagun, it's just distracting you, sweetheart.
Do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like,
I made her cut her hair because she has her duet next, and I thought if she messes with her hair. So your piece was, it's 3:10, so your piece was 6:30, so that's good. I wasn't sure.
Private fee is all.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like, look at the clock on the wall. It's 3:10.
so
You have an extra one, right?
Yes, comic.
which one?
Which Dad is probably gonna watch you do comic because I need to go do. Okay, let's where? Bye. Where is? It's next. What do you think? What room are you? 3:22. Okay.
One right there. When you're saying yes,
I think everyone's getting better, which is really nice, yeah, and confident. Like on Saturday when you were with us, you felt, I can tell, nervous. And yeah,
messed up twice.
yeah, there were a lot more nuances. It didn't look like or sound like you messed up. Only we would know that, or you would know that, but I didn't even know. The what? That's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't memorize what you've done, so.
My hands were I was so nervous that my hands were like,
I know.
lengthy.
It's good to have like different people, different judges. It gets you excited for doing things differently. And
I feel like I did much better today than I did yesterday. Oh. Mine is more specific. Because that's why I'm happy right now. Mine is happy that this is a full
so the woman that was in the room was covered. It was Liam's first ever teacher. And so she was her first year teacher, and she went in, and they were like buddies. They were like every day she sat with him at lunch because like that's when we just found out he had allergies. So she was always like.
You have the action to shut that
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I also go a little bit slower at the end of the whole thing. Like if you get your skirts the hair that doesn't bother me, although it just blocks the side of your face. I like the tension that you build up when you either you're doing intensity, you're scaring yourself. I just got there and it's a little bit more like suspicious and freaked out, and he's like, I don't know how or when to start. Yes, I think that needs to be played up more. But I felt like there was way more emotional change and but I don't have a sense that he's driven that the fact that he keeps hearing his heartbeat. So there's something with that.
I kept coming on my face from my judge. You just said, tie your hair now. And then in my hair.
No, my hair.
Came legit throughout the whole performance. I was too worried to see it captured and get like counted.
I don't think it would have, they, that didn't come down. They would not do that.
That doesn't matter. Did you do your script well?
How'd it go? Good. I wrote letters. I wrote letters.
It's not the exact same part as it's the same part.
Okay, no, wait, it's
But see, no one realized that as you
Anyone can
Okay, and then, right? Which is, and then, like, right here, see how you put those notes in there? This is in parentheses, so it's what the devil. It's impossible. Like now, he's like, out together.
Said. Hair passion. Okay.